Okay, so we're on graphs. We left off with the basics of graphs, the pictographs, the bar graphs, the line graphs. And I said we were going to do a separate video on just circle graphs. So here we are with circle graphs. I did an illustration of what a circle graph looks like. This is, again, just for demonstration. We would have a title, so I put ice cream or ice cream flavors, so it had been surveyed. The people that would have been surveyed came up to 50% like chocolate, 25% like vanilla, 20% like strawberry, and 5% like other. One thing you will notice is that the percentage of a circle graph must equal 100%. So how do we find the percents to put into our circle graph? Well, that's what this lesson is going to be about, so that we can set up circle graphs. So we have a class at school, and this class, let's say it's Sally's class, and in Sally's class they took a test, and 3 people made an A, 12 people made a B, 8 made C's, and 2 made D's. So we want to find the percentage of A's, B's, C's, and D's so that we can formulate a circle graph. The first thing I have to do is I have to add all of these numbers up. I have to have a denominator. I need to know how many total people took this test. All right, so let's add 3 plus 12 plus 8 plus 2. All right, so that's 5, and there's 10, that's 15, carry a 1. We have 25 total people. So now I need to set these up into fractions. This would be 3 25ths. This will be 12 25ths. This will be 8 25ths. And this will be 2 25ths. Now, I did use a number that evenly goes into 100 to demonstrate this to start with. So, again, we're going to put these into a percentage of 100. And so now we're going to put these over to 100. All right, 25, if you count by quarters, 25, 50, 75, 100, goes in there 4 times evenly. So we're going to times this by 4. And we're going to have 12 100ths, and that would make it 12%. Here we have 12 25ths, so let's put this over to 100. And that's going to be times 4, which is going to give me 48. So that's going to be 48%. This will be times 4. So this is going to be 32 100ths, which is going to be 32%. And we'll put this into 100 times 4 times 4. It's going to give us 8%. Now let's make sure our percentages add up to 100. All right. So here we have 12, 2 plus 8, which is 10. Then 12, and then 20. So if I would carry a 2, I'd have 3, 6, 10, and I would have 100%. So my percentages are correct. That's the first thing I'd have to do to find out what percent is. Later on in the lesson, we're actually going to learn how to figure out the actual angles of these percentages. But if I was going to have to kind of guess this about here, so we're going to put grades. And so let's cut this. Obviously my circle isn't perfect, but you get the idea. All right, so we have, this was the B's, so we would label it B's, and we will label it 48%. All right, let's see, so 8% is probably going to be something like this. So 8% was our D's. Let's go A's, 12. And let's go our C's, which was 32%. Again, this is just for demonstration. My angles are not probably to par, but we're going to get to learning that in another lesson, actually learning to put the exact angles. A circle has 360 degrees. So when we find our angles, we're going to do 12% of 360. So it goes back to finding that percent of a number. So let's just do this as a demonstration just to see what my A angle would actually be. So that's going to be 0. That would be 12, 6, 7, and then 0, 6, 3. 2 decimal places. So I would have a 43-degree angle for my A's. Okay? So let's do another one. Let's do favorite colors. So again, we need to find out how to find that percentage. Alright, so let's do favorite colors. Alright, so say we surveyed a group of people. We'll find out here in a minute. So 15 people said they liked red. We have green. We have 25 people like green. We have blue. 30 said blue is my favorite. And so 5 other people said they like some other color. First thing we have to do is find out how many people we have here. How many colors, how many people did we survey? So we have 5, 10, 15. 1, 2, 4, 7. Alright, so we have 75 total people. So now we have to go to our fractions. So our first part was finding the total. Now we put it in fractional parts. 15 over 75, 25 over 75, 30 over 75, and 5 over 75. Alright, now we can reduce these. We can reduce them by 5. And that's going to give me 3. 75 divided by 5. I was going to say it should give me 15. Alright, so that's right. Alright, well 3/15 I actually can reduce again to 1/5. I know the percentage of 1/5 is 20%. Alright, so 25 75ths would go to 1/3. It's 33 1/3, but if we want to do it just to the whole numbers, we're going to say 33%. Alright, 30 over 75, if we reduced it again by 5, we're going to get 6/15. Now, I'm going to, okay, I can also reduce that by 3, can't I? You're right. And I'm going to get 2/5. Alright, that's awesome. 2/5 gives me 40%. Now, I can figure this out, which is going to be 1/15. And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute if we had 1/15. But remember, we have to equal 100%. Alright? And we have 20 and 40, which is 60. And then we have 33, so we have 60 plus 33. That's going to give me 93. We can only go to 100%, so what's 100? Take away 93 gives me 7%. Alright, now I'm going to show you how I would get that 7% with just the 1/15. Alright, let's go. We'd have 1. Can you see this right here? Sure you can. 1. And we'd have to divide that by 15. So we'd have to put a 0 or a decimal. Well, 15 can't go into 10. So I'm going to put a 0 there. So I'm going to put 100 here. And then I'm going to do 15 times 7. That's going to give me 35. And that gives me 105. So I would go to 6. So 15 times 6, that's going to be 30. That's going to give me 90. Alright, this is going to give me 10. Bring another 0 down. Well, I know it's going to be 6 again. Alright, but to change this to percent, I'm going to take my decimal, move it 2 places to the right. Now I have 6.6, and because we're doing whole numbers, I get 7%. Now again, we will learn to do the angles of these things later, but let's just do a demonstration of what this kind of would look like. Alright, I'm going to put the little red over here, green, blue, and O for other so I can have some workspace here. Alright, so I'm going to draw a circle, graph, draw, it's in the shape of a circle. Alright, so we were going to title it. We have favorite colors. All right, so let's say 20%, so we can kind of, let's say right now this is going to be red, so 20%. We have, let's say green is 33%. Notice I'm putting the label and there's my scale. So I still have a title, a label, and a scale. All right, so 7% is going to be down here, squeaking down here. This will be other, 7%. So, and then we have green or blue, which is 40%. All right, so not too shabby. You can kind of figure it out. Obviously, the 40% is going to have a bigger space. But let's see what the angles actually again would be. Again, a whole circle is a 360. It's kind of like when they do a 360 dunk if you watch basketball and they say, oh, they did a 360. Or you're doing a driving in a race car and, oh, they did a 360. It's because a 360 is all the way around. All right. Sometimes you'll hear people say, well, they did a total 180, which means they went from here to here. They turned half. But the 360 is where you get it. The circle is 360 degrees. So we would do 20% of 360. So you see why learning how to do this is very important, because we've been doing this drill for a good long time, but now we're taking this drill and this concept and adding it to a new concept. We're adding it to our circle graph so that we can use this concept on a regular basis. So this is 0.2. So 360 times 0.2, so that's 0. That's 12. That's 7. I'd have a 72 degree angle. All right, let's just go ahead and see what 33% would be. All right, of 360. So you're getting a double lesson here today. So this is 0.33. Let's see, I'll erase this up here so I can do my math since I wrote 72 degrees up there. All right, so 360 times 0.33, and this is going to give me 0, 18, 9 plus 1 is 10. So put a 0. I'm going to have a 0. Should have the same, come up with the same number, 18 and 10. So 0, 8, 8, 1, 1, 2 decimal places. So you normally do the whole number. So we would have a 119 degree angle. All right, so that's just some examples. But again, to find how to set up a circle graph, we have to know the total number of parts. All right, that's the first thing. And then we take our parts and we put them in fractional parts. And then we take those fractional parts to put them over into percentages. Remember, a circle graph must equal 100%. All right. Have a great day. Like, share, and subscribe.